Hi guys, I'm Lucy. Today we'll be assessing a client's girth measurements. We'll be taking girth measurements with the tape measure and also assessing body fat. So we'll be taking some measurements from 4 different sites on the body. This is Terry. Terry's my lovely assistant this evening, and we will be taking measurements of the upper arms first. First of all, we have to find the midway point between his acromion process and the tip of the elbow. So by doing that, we'll find the acromion process first, and we put a little mark. I'll get Terry to bend his elbow at 90 degrees, and we'll find the point of the elbow. And now, Terry, if you could stand in anatomical position, please. And I will find the midway point between there and his elbow. And we'll put a little mark there. And this will be the place where we will take, can you lift your arm up a little bit, sorry Terry, thank you, the measurement of the upper arm. Alright, now we'll be taking measurement of Terry's chest. What I will do is get him to hold the tape there, and I will stand behind him for this measurement. I will get him to put the tape across the nipple line, thank you Terry, and stand in anatomical position, so palms to the front. Standing up nice and tall and just breathing normally, and we take the measurement there. So making sure that your client is not breathing in, making sure that the tape is nice and straight and not too tight. Look, okay, now we're going to measure Terry's waist. So what I'll get Terry to do is find the bottom rib, his bottom rib and the top of his hip bone, and we're going to find a midway point between those two areas. So Terry, I'll get you to find the bottom rib, and we'll mark that one, the top of his hip bone, and what we'll do is find a midway point between there and there, which is here, and just to make sure that our tape goes around the waist in a straight line, we'll do the same on the other side. So Terry, I'll get you to find the bottom rib, and we'll mark that one and the top of your hip bone. Thank you. And hopefully we should get the same measurement. What I'll do, Terry, is get you to pass that across there for me. Bring it behind. So without sucking in, making sure you've got normal breathing, standing in anatomical position, and there we go, there we have our waist measurement there. Now we're going to measure Terry's hips. We want to find the widest part of the hips. So what I'll get Terry to do is take the tape around him and pass it to me. So finding the widest part of Terry's hips, making sure you're standing side on to your client and coming down to that level and taking the measurement from there, making sure the tape is also nice and straight. So now we're going to measure Terry's thighs. So for this measurement, we need the client to actually find for us, locate the gluteal fold, which is where your bottom buttocks actually meets with the hamstring. So, excuse me, Terry. And we put the tape measure around the gluteal fold and take our measurement again, side on to your client from there. Okay, the last measurement we'll be taking today will be Terry's calf muscle. So for this measurement, we just get our client to stand in anatomical position. We find the biggest part of the calf and take the measurement side on from there. Making sure that we take the measurement for both legs. For all these measurements, both arms and both legs are to be measured for girths. Alright, so after we've done our girth measurements, we can use the same points that we found to determine the sites for skin folds. So we've found the midway point between the acromion and the tip of the elbow. So using that same point, that same little marker, you can come across to the front of the bicep, and we'll put a little mark there as well. So this is where we'll be taking the skin fold measurement for the bicep. So using our calipers and our thumb and our index finger, we make sure that we only get the body fat and not the muscle. So to separate the muscle from the body fat, you just have to wriggle your fingers around and make sure you don't get any muscle for this measurement. If you're not too sure, you can get your client to actually flex their muscle. So flex your bicep, Terry. and release, and making sure you're not grasping any body muscle. Then with your calipers, making sure you can read the dial, you take the measurement just below where you've pinched, you hold it for 3 seconds, and then release. So you want to try and get the best out of 3. You do the same measurement 3 times, and to get an average. Alrighty, so the same applies for the tricep. So we found the midway point. We've made a marker there at the tricep. So what we do is pinch 1 centimeter above the site, and again with our calipers, taking our measurement there. Making sure you don't release the skin while you're measuring. Hold for 3 seconds, release the calipers, and then release the skin. So to find the skin folds for the suprailiac, we mark the top of the iliac crest. We draw an imaginary line from the armpit to the iliac crest, and we follow in the lines of the external obliques. So just at that mark where we found the top of the iliac crest, we take the measurement from there on a diagonal. Okay, our last site for skin folds this evening is the subscapular. So we find the inferior angle of the scapula. So I'll get Terry to bring his hand behind and bend his elbow. And as you can see, there is the scapula. We're finding the inferior angle. All right, Terry, you can let it go now. Take it down. So there's our inferior angle of the scapula. So what we're doing is finding the one centimeter away from that angle. So we'll do our little mark. And it's around about there. So what we'll get Terry to do is stand in anatomical position, please Terry, hands to the side, and pinching from just 1 centimeter above the site and taking our body fat measurement from there. So tonight we took girth measurements from lower body and upper body. We took skin fold measurements mainly from the upper body because that is where a lot of our body fat is stored. We will do that again in 6 to 8 weeks time. The reason we do it is so that the clients can have a starting point and to monitor progress over that period of time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.